Hello and welcome everybody back to the video. I'm your SimCFI. I really appreciate you guys all stopping by. If you have any questions on any sim, please leave a comment down below. I'll be sure to answer it as best I can. As you know, I'm a rural CRJ pilot by now, and I used to be a flight instructor before that as well. So if you have questions on the CRJ or flying in real life, anything like that, leave a comment down below and I'll be sure to answer it as well. Today we have the pleasure of looking at the WINWING PAP3, which is also known as the 737 MCP. This was sent to me by WINWING, but I'll be giving you my unbiased review as I've paid for WINWING products and I've been sent WINWING products and I'm still a customer as well because their products are very high quality for a very low cost. So lastly, I just want to say thank you to all the channel partners as well. If you want to check on any of the discount codes down below, I have one to Contrail and ProDesk Sim, Tobii Eye Tracker, and if you want to pick up the WINWING any products as well, the link is down below for you guys. Let's get into this video. I hope you guys enjoy. So, sorry about the mess on the cables there, but this PAP3 only requires one cable at the back to make it work, one USB-C to USB-A. So it's very easy to run. It's a plug-and-play autopilot panel. It works with the 737 MAX, the 737NG, and I'm going to try to get it to work on 737 Classic. But I'll put the volume up so you can just hear the sounds of the switches. Every switch has a nice tactile feedback to it, and every rotary knob as well has a nice click on each rotation. I've never flown a 3.7, but it's quite close to the RJ buttons as well, at least in my opinion, the feeling of them. It will come with 4 stands as well. I'm only rocking 2 at the very back, and it also comes with this bag of screws with more than enough screws that I need. I'm sure you can mount it to any your next level racing chair and all that kind of stuff, but I only put it on my table with the 2 mounts at the very back. I also have the WINWING FCU with ephyses, and another amazing product. I noticed on the WINWING FCU the knobs were a bit loose if you shake them. That was my only gripe with them. However, on the PAP3, as you can see here, I'll give them a shake and they are nice and sturdy. I've never flown Airbus either, so I can't say if that's real or not, but the PAP3 feels very, very good. And before we hop into the sim, guys, I'll show you Sim App Pro. This is the WINWING software that you can use to make the plug and play aspect of this MCP work. Of course, you can use MobiFlight as well. WINWING has been gracious enough to also send me the magnetic switch option for the auto throttle system, and I'll show you what that means in a second. But if we hop into the MCP by clicking at the top left corner here, you'll see that we're greeted with the MCP software. But this is the MCP here, and as I twiddle knobs or anything, the buttons will actuate on the left-hand side. So what the magnetic switch is, in real life, when you click the auto throttle switch up and the auto throttle system engage, the switch actually stays up. If you do not purchase the magnetic switch option, which is the most realistic option, the switch will just go up but come right back down. It's spring-loaded to come back down. So you will require the magnetic switch option to actually mimic what it does in real life. And I'll show you how to engage it, how to disengage it, and it's quite hard to actually knock down that switch, which is pretty cool. So currently we're not in the sim, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to engage the auto throttle switch, as you can see there, and if I try to knock the switch down, it's going to be quite actually difficult to get it down. But if you're not in the sim and actually able to disengage the auto throttle switch, the way that's recommended, and I recommend, is go to the software and press the auto throttle disconnect switch, and you'll see it magnetically drop back down. But I'll show you how to disengage it like they would in the real airplane once we hop in the sim. Okay guys, we're all in the simulator now. You can see if I spin the course knob, it spins it on the MSP in the far left corner there. And I'll show you the auto throttle here. So we're going to engage the auto throttle switch. The light will turn green in the physical one and in the real, or in the simulator as well. We'll get back to disengaging it, but you'll see everything that I twist and press all works. I didn't do any setup. I plugged it in. I started up Sim App Pro. I loaded into the sim and plugged it in, obviously, and that's about it. So that's it. It works really well, really simple. I already made a video on an RNAV approach in the CRJ using this, and I'll make a video on how I got this to work with CRJ. It's very simple, but you just download a profile from MobiFlight. But anyways, it was a huge help with flying the CRJ. It just makes your life so much easier when you got that tactile feedback. And if you already have the FCU and you fly the 737, this is a no-brainer for you. The price point for the quality is insane. The EFIS panels will be coming out shortly. You can see everything works. Also, the 737 yoke is going to be coming out hopefully soon from WinWing, so you can have an entire 737 setup, I imagine, in the future, if I had to guess, with powered up by WinWing. So let's talk about this auto throttle disengage switch. This one's pretty cool. So I'm going to engage it in disengage it from the sim. You can see the switch magnetically drops down. If you engage it in the sim, however, the switch won't go up. You have to manually, physically bring the switch up if you want your hardware to stay up. The other way to disconnect your auto throttle is by clicking the auto throttle disconnect switch on the throttles, and you'll see once I click it, the switch will drop as the auto throttle system's been disengaged at that point. Alright guys, well, as we wrap up this video, I'll leave you some footage of just the MCP working in tandem with the sim. You can see it's 1-to-1. Very, very cool to have this kind of stuff finally in our simulators. We already had it for the Airbus, now we have it for the 737. I'm sure there'll be some other airplanes, I would think, on the way. So really, really appreciate WinWing sending this to me. And as you guys know, they are recently a new partner of the channel as well. So if you guys want to reach out to WinWing in the description down below and pick this up for yourself. They have acknowledged they're having a little bit of shipping issues currently with the amount of demand that is for their products on the civil side. And I believe at the FS Expo, they said they're working on getting another US warehouse and just kind of investing in all the infrastructure. I don't think they thought all this stuff would be that popular, but as you can see, they're kind of taking over the flight sim hardware market for a good reason, as you can see. I highly recommend getting the 737 PAP3 if you fly the 37 or other airplanes like the CRJ. You can even map this to the MD-11, although the FCU would probably be better for that one. You can map this to the MD-80. Any airplane, you can map it yourself with MobiFlight or download a profile for it from online sources like flightsim.to. So anyways, as soon as they get this stuff in stock, I recommend picking up yourself a PAP3 and also the magnetic switch. I highly recommend getting the magnetic switch as well, as it just kind of adds to the realism of the hardware. And they will be releasing the EFIS panels as well. I got to try those at the FX Expo. So if you would like to buy one of the EFIS panels, you can buy them separately or both of them as well. That's it for this fast little tiny review. There's not really much for me to say. It's absolutely fantastic for the price point, and even for a higher price, they could charge more for this and it would still be absolutely fantastic. It feels like a $400 to $500 product for a lot cheaper. So WinWing's doing good stuff. It's a good time to be a flight simmer. I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm waiting on my Moza yoke to come in, and as soon as that yoke comes in, I will be streaming with the 737 MAX and Classic most likely, and we'll also be doing our regular CRJ and maybe some Kodiak stuff as well. So we'll see you guys in the future. Thanks for watching, and hopefully you pick one of these WinWing hardwares up for yourself. You really have to try it to see what I'm talking about. Thanks. Have a good day.